Hare Krishna. So we'll start with the 15th chapter of our discussion on 15th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, 15th chapter, titled Pandavas Retired Timely. So in the previous chapter, we discussed about how um, Yudhishthir Maharaj inquired Arjuna, who has returned from Dwaraka, about Yudhishthir Maharaj has already heard from Narad Muni that Krishna will be winding up his pastimes and going back to Godhead. And after hearing that, and when Arjuna, when he went to see Lord Krishna and came after a few months, Yudhishthira Maharaj was very doubtful. At the same time, he also wanted to inquire about the well-being of everybody in Dwaraka. He was suspecting, seeing Arjuna's depression. He was suspecting that Krishna might have already left. So but he doesn't want to directly come to that point. So that's why he inquired different. He actually literally they call it, right? Beating around the bush. So he did a lot of other checking with all the other things and the well-being of everybody, and checked why if Arjuna's health is good. So after going through all the possibilities, finally Yudhishthira Maharaj comes to the point, maybe Krishna might have left this world, that's why you are so depressed. So upon hearing that, Arjuna starts reacting. Arjuna starts responding to Yudhishthira Maharaj's speculative inquiries. So Arjuna becomes grief stricken. So Arjuna, in this chapter, Arjuna expresses his feelings for Krishna and how he conveys that bad news that Krishna already left from this planet, and and what is the reaction of Pandavas, how they took that news, and how they uh, what are the different activities that are done by the Pandavas after Krishna's departure. So in this chapter we will be discussing about strong feelings of separation from Krishna, of Pandavas and of Arjuna, and how they recollected all their experiences with the Lord, as their intimate friend, and how they protected them in various occasions. Arjuna also feels null and void in Lord's absence. How even though they have entire kingdom at their command, what is the perception of devotees? Hmm? What are the factors that what are the things that a devotee gives the importance? So literally they were the rulers of entire earthly king, but they felt hopeless. Will be going through all those situations, and how Maharaj Yudhishthir plans his retirement, and how other Pandavas and Draupadi followed the Maharaj Yudhishthir. Okay, we'll move into the chapter now. So after Arjuna has returned from Hastinapur, Arjuna returns from Dwaraka, and here Yudhishthira Maharaj inquires about different things, and finally comes to the point where, like, if Krishna has already disappeared from this planet. So when Arjuna hears that news, just like if we had some bad news, and if we want to deliver that news to a person who is very well connected to that news, because say for suppose if some object, say some nice decorative item, some of our family member is so much attached to it, and if he is daily taking nice care of it, or he's is very much uh, you know has his lot of pleasure associated with it, just like uh, for kids it will be like something like video games or Xbox or something like that, and from adults it is different thing. It is a irrelevant comparison, but just to connect to the mood, I'm just giving this example. And by mistake if somebody has damaged it, mm, and and that object will be no more accessible to that person in our family. So then, in order to deliver that bad news to that person who is so much attached to that object, we'll we'll try in a different means and ways, thinking that how it will affect him, how it, how to uh, you know, like when that thing is mentioned in front of them, they can react. Actually, we can see their reaction, their painful uh, uh, what you call painful reaction to that news. So in the same way, like Yudhishthira Maharaj loves Krishna so much, and the news that Krishna is going to wind up his earthly pastimes and go back to Godhead, because he is going to separate from Yudhishthira Maharaj, like Krishna will not be accessible to them, is a very painful news for Yudhishthira Maharaj. And Arjuna has already gone through that pain. He went to Dwaraka and he was not able to find Krishna, and inquired from him that no, he comes to know that Krishna and all Yadavas fought among themselves based on a Brahmana's curse. That is a nice pastime enacted by Krishna, because Yadus are so powerful on the planet. It will come in the 11th canto. Okay, Yadus are so powerful on the planet that nobody on the planet can check them, or nobody can on the planet can control them. So in that case, if all but when Krishna has descended onto this earthly planet, he had a task list. Means what are the things that he has to do? He has to pavitrana sadhunam cha vinashaya cha dushkritam, means to protect the devotees and punish the miscreants. That is his main purpose. So Krishna has already achieved that, and there is no point Krishna staying in this earthly planet, because this material world is a facility where the living entities were provided to enjoy themselves. Means because if Krishna is present, then this material world itself becomes a spiritual world. So this material world is a illusory, gives a illusory uh, setting where the jivas are like masters. Jivas tries to imitate the position of Krishna. So if Krishna is present, then jivas will not have that facility. Not like some materialistic person, he wants to be the lording over, and he wants to be the greatest person. So, and also the Krishna is not supposed to. Krishna does never stays in this material world uh, more than what is prescribed in his time. Okay, so Krishna has to go back to the spiritual world, and at the end of Krishna's life, Krishna's pastimes, Brahmaji comes and requests, if it is, you have done everything that is to be done, and if it is your will, if you like, then you can go back to spiritual world. He says that. So Krishna thoughts thinks that okay, these yadus are so powerful. If I disappear from this earthly planet, they will go mad. They will be crazy in my separation, and out of this craziness, they don't even hesitate to even destroy entire earthly planet. One nice example I will give. Okay, Lord Ram is meant for his tolerance. Lord Ram is meant for his patience. No, you don't see Lord Ram angry, or you don't unnecessarily. He doesn't do anything that is out of proportion. Means he does only what is required for any incident. Okay, if like he deals with friends, friendly with friends, and with appropriate with the enemies. Okay, and for the citizens he's a nice king. So he is a perfect he is perfect in all the situations. But when Mother Sita was kidnapped and Lord Ram took away Mother Sita, Lord Ram has displayed so much of his leelas that how a materialistic person thinks. In the case of materialistic persons, when a materialistic person is attached to an object of sense enjoyment or any object that he loves so much, and if it is taken from him, he doesn't even realize what he's doing. Mm. They will be put into such a distressful situation. Mm. So in the same way, the Yadus are so much in love with Krishna. The Krishna is the heart and soul of all the Yadus, these powerful Yadu rulers, Yadu princesses like that. So if Krishna is taken away from them, if Krishna goes back to spiritual world without making proper arrangements, then in that anxiety, in that stressful situation, they will even destroy the earthly planet. Just like Lord Ram, when Sita was kidnapped, he thought, no, I don't see any hope in this material world. I will just using my power, I will just destroy entire world. So then Lakshman has to console him. No, why are you thinking like that? We can find Mother Sita. No, why? What did all the jivas did for the abduction of Sita? Because when Sita Devi was kidnapped, Lord Ram becomes literally, behaves literally crazy, because he started asking the deers, he started asking the trees, and he started asking the rivers, where did Sita go? Where did Sita go? Like that. So in the feeling of separation, he actually depicts how this material attachment will lead to such kind of emotional disturbances. So, and he was ready to even uh, he was contemplating, no, I will destroy, nobody's responding, nobody's answering me, I'm going to destroy everybody. So if that is the case of the Maryada Purushottam, Lord Sri Ram, then what is the situation? What would be the situation of Yadus, who are always with the association of Krishna and who are very powerful? And so that's why Krishna has enacted that pastime. So he arranged a curse by the Brahmanas, and Yadus, in order to make that curse true, they actually fought among themselves. Means, like, by arrangement of Krishna, they actually fought among themselves and killed each other, and then went back to their respective positions. The Yadus who came as a demigod, they went back to their position as demigod, and Yadus who are eternally who are coming from Golok Vrindavan, they went back to Golok Vrindavan. In fact, Krishna sent all the Vrindavan Vasis before even the Yadus also. Okay, all the Vrindavan Vasis even sent back to Godhead, and then goes to Dwaraka, and then enacted this pastime. So Arjuna sees all these things, and he was greatly in distress. And when Yudhishthira Maharaj asked about Krishna, with great difficulty he checked his tears and spoke about how they were uh, cheated. This verse on the fifth verse number 5 says, Vanchitoham Maharaja Harina Bandhurupina Yena me apahruto tejo Deva Viswapanam Mahat. He says, the Lord, my intimate friend, has left me. Thus my astounding power, which astonished even the demigods, is no longer with me. So so remembering Krishna's Sakyam, friendship, and Maitri, Arjuna was overwhelmed. Okay, and here, if you see the translation of this verse, he says, "My Lord, the intimate friend, and had left me. My intimate friend has left me." Okay, thus my astounding power, okay, which even astonishes the demigods, is no longer with me. So if you see here, Arjuna is saying that about Krishna, who is his intimate friend, who has left him. Vanchitoham Maharaja Harina Bandhurupina, means Lord Krishna, who is our relative and who is a friend of mine, he has left. He has we were cheated of his association. And next he says, and my power, which was which has astonished even the demigods, is no longer with me. So it doesn't mean that Arjuna is worrying about Arjuna is worrying about his power. Arjuna was overwhelmed, or like overwhelmingly distressful because of the absence of Krishna. And he says, because of him only I was powerful. If you see, there is one nice pastime. After Krishna's departure, and when all the Yadus were gone, when all the Yadus were have destroyed, when all the Yadus, they also left the planet, and Arjuna, their only remaining was the queens of Krishna, or different queens of different uh, Yadava rulers, or no? And Arjuna wanted to protect all of them, and Arjuna wanted to bring all of them to Dwaraka so that they can be nicely protected. So at that point of time, he was bringing that queens from Dwaraka to Hastinapur. So in the middle, the cowherd boys sees that lot of women were going along with Arjuna, and they attacked Arjuna and they defeated Arjuna, and then this they actually kidnaps all the queens of Dwaraka. So that is one of the factor where uh, Arjuna also mentions that, no, like I was able to defeat even the demigods when the Lord Krishna was present with me, and in the Kurukshetra war, I was able to kill Akshavhanis of Sena, uh, just with Krishna on my side. Like I fought with very able Kshatriyas when Krishna was with me. Now, when Krishna has left, now I was bereft of his association. That is a great loss for me, and also my power. Uh, with my power, I thought I could protect at least Krishna's queens, but I was not able to protect them also. So one may ask, what is the fate of Krishna's queens who are like who fell down from such an exalted position, and they have to be kidnapped by some cowherd men. So there is everything happens by the will of the Lord. Okay, it is said that everything, like all the powers are given to us, or anybody in this world are given to us to execute the will of the Lord. Especially in the case of devotees, the devotees are empowered by the Lord, like to perform like a great unimaginable tasks. To like if you see the tasks of like great devotees like Hanuman, or devotees like Privrata, devotees like they did some unimaginable tasks. Means like who can, like even Lord Shiva also, he's a great devotee. That's why he was able to drink entire poison. So Lord empowers all the devotees to do such a excellent or great Herculean tasks, just to glorify them, but or enact the will of Krishna. But if 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 Krishna thinks that these powers are not required for him now, or if Krishna's will is over, that whatever the task that has to be done has been performed, then Krishna takes that powers from the devotee. Why? Because now what is the after finishing the task, next the ultimate again the next main goal for them is to go back to Godhead. So these powers will be like a obstacles in their path of going back to Godhead, because they may lead into some illusory things, illusion. They may keep that devotee in illusion. That's why Krishna takes that power away. So, and Arjuna is recalling, because he is, first of all, he is very much distressed out because of Krishna's absence, and secondly, he was very much disappointed because he was defeated by the infidel cowherd men, and he was not able to protect the queens of Krishna. So, From here, we can see that the living entity, however powerful he may be, he cannot be independent of Krishna, because we have to depend on Krishna for everything, for the skill and different powers. We should never be proud of the skill or the power that we have, because that are not given, that are not from us. Krishna is uh, Krishna says in Bhagavatam, Matta Smrutir Jnanam Apohanam cha, means from me comes the remembrance and intelligence. Okay, so and Krishna is the basis. Krishna is the source of all the power and all the ability. He says ability in the person. Okay, so however how much powerful a person may be, if you take no Brahmaji, he's the most powerful person on in this earthly planet. And if you take the example of Indra, who is in charge of demigods, who is the king of demigods, they are the two main personalities. But when, as long as they are in proper conscious and were executing the duties as per the will of Krishna, mm, with humility, they were able to perform their task very nicely. The Brahmaji was creating nice creation, and Indra was ruling sending the clouds for rains and everything. But when they become confused or illusioned, thinking that these are my powers, then Krishna has to enact the pastimes of Brahma Vimohan Lila, or Govardhan Lila, to teach them the lessons. So all the powers, Krishna is the source of all powers, that we should have always in the mind. And also, and we should always think, if you perform any great task, and as a preacher, if you give a nice class, Krishna is giving the ability to for us to speak or glorify him. No, it is said that Krishna's glories are like the unlimited, like a sky, unlimited sky. And Krishna empowered them to fly according to one's abilities. Okay, uh, based on how much empowerment Krishna has given to that person, to that extent that person will be able to glorify the Lord. Because even though sky is unlimited, different birds have different capacity to fly on different levels. No, some crows will fly only like a 30-50 feet from the ground level, whereas sparrows can fly little higher. uh, so that swans, they can fly little more higher, and eagles can fly much higher. So in that way, like different birds have different capacity and different heights they can go through. Okay, so it is their based on their ability or empowerment. In the same way, our doing great things or performing great Herculean tasks, it is due to the empowerment of Krishna that is required for that performances. Or if you take any skill of playing nice instruments or doing nice kirtan, these are all the things that are given by the Lord Himself. Okay. So and next in the next verse he says, yes, in the Krishna says how the separation, he says about the feeling of separation from Krishna. Okay, yasya kshana viyogena loko hya apriya darshana, loko apriya darshana utte uktena rahito esha mritaka prochate yata. Hmm? Arjuna is saying, I lost him whose separation from for a moment would render all the universes unfavorable and void, like a bodies without life. Okay, so this is Arjuna's separation from Krishna. Mm. Like as we discussed, Arjuna has access to entire earthly planet now. Entire earthly planet. They are the kings of entire earthly planet, and they have that there is nothing that they cannot have on that earthly planet. But at the same time, in the separation from Krishna, if without Krishna, everything is like a body without a life. Body with life is called Shivam, means it is auspicious. Body without life is called Shavam, means inauspicious. It is very abominable. So as soon as a dead body is there, we will just try to get rid of the body as soon as possible, because it is very inauspicious. So in the same way, like the separation, all the jivas are always in separation from Krishna. Mm. Uh, if you don't have the spiritual realization of Paramatma who is within the heart, then we should be feeling the separation from Krishna. We should have that intense feeling from separation from Krishna. Mm. In fact, Prabhupada says all the living entities are loving themselves the most. This only, it's not Prabhupada, I think it's Madhavendra Madhvacharya. He says all the living entities are loving themselves so much only because Krishna is present within them. Mm. So they are indirectly, like any love to anything is indirectly loving Krishna. Mm. Because if somebody has a good amount of nice, very beautiful, or very wealthy, or very powerful, so we actually not love their person, not their body, but we love that potency. We are loving them because that person has so much wealth or so much of beauty, so much of skill. So, but Krishna is the source of everything. Krishna is the source of all beauty. Krishna is the source of all wealth. Krishna is the source of all strength. Krishna is the source of all fame, name. So, and Krishna is the source of all renunciation also. So, if you love or appreciate any quality of any person, means you are indirectly loving Krishna. And also, we love ourselves only because Krishna as Paramatma is within us. And the soul by nature is in quality is one with Krishna. So that's the reason we love, anybody loves themselves the most. Even like if you see in even a family of intimate family members, everybody loves themselves the most than even their closest relative also. Externally they may say many things, but ultimately if you see, if you go in deep, everybody only loves themselves the most. Why? Because this self interest is due to because of our relationship with Krishna. Because how the soul is so much in quality one with Krishna, and so much related to Krishna, and so much united with Krishna. In the same way, because we are souls, we love ourselves the most. Even though we may not be very beautiful, we may not have much qualifications, uh, or we may not have any, what do you call, the worthy, like any nice qualities, or best of anything. But still, every living entity, even if you take the animals also, animals, any, even the trees, anything, they love themselves the most than any other thing. But in the case of Rajavasis, when Krishna was in Vrindavan, like if you see any family members, like actually it is said that a mother and father loves their children more than any other children, or because due to their relation, because due to their family, uh, familial relationship. Okay, but in the case of Rajavasis, the Brajavasis used to love Krishna more than their children. Mm. So, and they were always thinking about Krishna. Oh, what Krishna might be doing, and hearing about Krishna. And if they see anything inauspicious, they'll immediately think, oh, something might have happened to Krishna. And so they started immediately running to the forest, following the footsteps of Krishna, where Krishna has went. So they used to immediately search for Krishna. So in the case of Kali Lila, or any demon attacked Krishna, they used to find some inauspicious omens, and they used to immediately meditate on Krishna, where Krishna might be, is Krishna safe? So that kind of mood that Rajavasis have. So in the same way, all the living entities has the same mood, same quality. That is our real nature. We are so intimately connected to Krishna. We love Krishna more than any other thing, but only due to illusion, due to only Maya, or due to our false ego, that we were actually bewildered, no, thinking that what we don't know the difference between what is reality and what is illusion. And we, out of this illusion, we actually misdirected our love from Krishna to some other objects. due to our false ego or due to our illusion. So in the same way, Arjuna was now feeling this intimacy approaching from Krishna. So that's why he's saying Yasya kshana viyogena loko hya priya darshana, means this entire world is looks like null and void. So that is the mood of Arjuna. So now after saying this, Arjuna recalls different incidents how Krishna, by only by the presence of Krishna, only by the mercy of Krishna, they were able to win through different difficult situations. Like if you see like the life of Pandavas, any of the like the amount, the number of dangers that they have passed through, any one of them is good enough to end the life of the Pandavas. If you see like if you read Mahabharata nicely, winning the Draupadi's hand means the Pandavas getting Draupadi is the greatest turning point in their lives. Until that point of time, the Pandavas don't have that kingly backup, means like they don't have a family that they can rely on, because their own family members are against them, because Dhritarashtra was the son, the king, and he was the son, he was the father of Duryodhan, and Duryodhan party doesn't like the Pandavas, and they wanted to kill the Pandavas. So they don't have a person who can support them. So when uh, when the marriage between the Pandavas and Draupadi happened, they had a strong relationship with Drupad Maharaj. So that's how they were able to uh, now after winning Draupadi's hand, then only Dhritarashtra called them back and then coordinated them and gave half of their kingdom. Okay. So and during the wedding of Draupadi, like Arjuna has appeared into that Draupadi Swayamvar in the form of a Brahmana, because during that time, like that was the Laksha Gruha episode where the Pandavas were uh, a murder attempt was done on the Pandavas by the Duryodhan party. Okay, so they were kept in the Laksha Gru and set of like they were kept in the house, and then their house was set on fire to kill them. But by the mercy of Vidura and by arrangement of Krishna, they were saved, and then they don't want to go back to the kingdom because they are doubtful. Like now we got saved because of this, uh, due to luck or due to by the advice of Vidura. But why should we go there and be in face to face to them, and they again try to kill us? So they didn't go back to the kingdom. So they stayed there and they were doing Bhikshatan and then living as Brahmanas. And when this Draupadi Swayamvar was there, Arjuna Arjuna and Bhima goes there, based on the advice of uh, the guru. They go there and then they actually wins the hand of Draupadi. Arjuna Arjuna has Arjuna passes the test for the Swayamvara, the whatever the qualification that is required to win the hand of Draupadi, and then he gets uh, Draupadi. So when he gets Draupadi, then all the other kings become envious and started try to attack the Arjuna. So Arjuna and Bhima had to fight all the kings who are present there. Means like whenever any Swayamvaram happens, then all the powerful kings from all over the world comes to participate in that Swayamvar. So there all the kings also came, and they started fighting with the Arjuna. I think what is the why all the kings, even though Arjuna rightfully won the hand of Draupadi, because they are intolerant. Mm. We are all powerful Kshatriyas and we are planning to win the Draupadi's hand, and this Brahmana comes in the middle and snatches away Draupadi. So they are intolerant to that situation. So it is actually, legally also it is okay, because when anybody wins the hand, wins the hand of a princess in Swayamvar, that the person who wins the hand of that princess should have the ability to defend her. So if you don't have that ability, then you may lose that princess also. So even in the case of no, we have seen how Bhishma Dev defeats all the prince kings who have assembled to uh, marry Ambalika uh, and brings them to uh, mm, uh, brings them to get them married to Vichitra Virya and no, so like that. So Krishna saves them there, and also Krishna saved Arjuna. Like Krishna defeated even the demigods and demons. Okay, this fight with the demigods happened during the Kandavana. Kandavana, when Kandavana was like there are stories from Mahabharata. Okay, I'm just elaborating. Kandavana, one Agnidev comes in the guise of a Brahmana and asks a benediction, like ask a charity from Arjuna, that I want a charity, I want food, and Arjuna says, I am given, I'm ready to give whatever you want. And this Arjuna, like Agnidev, shows his real form and says, I'm Agnidev and I wanted to burn this entire Kandavan. But whenever I try to burn this entire Kandavan, Indradev is coming from sending the clouds and extinguishing me, because Indradev's friend, this Takshak, is living in this Kandavan, and Indradev has a deal with this Takshak that he'll he'll protect him from any danger. So Takshak and family, all the Nagas are staying in this Kandavan. So whenever I try to burn this Kandavan, Arjuna is like Indra is sending the clouds and extinguishing them. So like that, so when Agnidev was burning this Kandavan, then all the demigods tries to come and fight with Arjuna and Arjuna. So because Krishna was along with Arjuna, Arjuna was able to defeat all the demigods also that time. Even Arjuna defeated even Lord Shiva also. Okay, and Bhima has defeated Jarasandha. Jarasandha was a very powerful warrior, and nobody has the ability to defeat Jarasandha because of the benediction. And he was destined to killed by the Bhima. Okay, and killed those who has offended Draupadi. Like if you see in the case of Kurukshetra war, Kurukshetra war happened mainly because of the insult that the kings of this earthly planet has committed to Draupadi. Mm. All the kings who are presented in that assembly, in that Sabha, you said right, Asat Sabha, which is conducted by Duryodhana and his 40. So all the kings who are assembled there, they partook in the sin of insulting Draupadi. So they had to be killed. So and also saved the. So due to that, this Kurukshetra war is enacted, and all the evil kings are killed. Okay, and in the next thing is the Arjuna recalls about how Krishna saves them from the anger of Durvasa Muni. We all know this past time, right? Durvasa Muni, like Duryodhana requests Durvasa Muni to go to Pandavas and take their hospitality. When the Pandavas uh, when the Pandavas were in forest, when they are doing Vanavas, Durvasa Muni was asked to go in specific time after everybody has eaten like that. So Krishna comes into the picture and makes arrangements so that the Durvasa Muni will no longer feel hungry enough to accept the any food from the Pandavas. So Krishna literally saves there also. All these pastimes, army of the Kauravas, and also Arjuna recalls about how enemy neglected us because of Lord's mercy. Okay, why he recalls this is because in Kurukshetra war, in that Arjuna killing Jayadratha after Abhimanyu's death, Arjuna takes the oath saying that I will kill whoever the person who is responsible for the death of my son Abhimanyu. And he comes to know that Jayadratha was the one who had actually blocked all the Pandavas, and who is responsible for the killing of Abhimanyu. So Arjuna takes the oath that if I don't kill Jayadratha by tomorrow sunset, I will enter into the fire. So there also no like then the Kauravas comes to know about this, and they actually wanted to take advantage of this situation. So what at that point of time, Dronacharya forms a what do you call the needle formation, means he keeps all the army in the needle formation, and he keeps Jayadratha at the end. So if anybody wants to fight, they have to go through the entire of army, means they have to fight with entire of army. So during that point of time, Arjuna starts, even he starts in the in the morning. By the time he reaches about the middle, it is almost about sunset. And the horses are very tired. So Krishna says our horses cannot go any longer, so you have to give them the rest. So and they need water also. So Arjuna gets down the chariot, and he actually provides the water for the horses, and he was with this uh, uh, bow and arrow on the battlefield of Kurukshetra on the ground. So this is the very easy situation for the enemies like Karna, Dronacharya, or many other Kaurav warriors who they can take advantage of the situation. They can kill Arjuna because he's not on the chariot. Because being on the chariot is the greatest strength of for a warrior in the battlefield in those days. So, but still, due to Krishna's mercy, due to Krishna's arrangement, nobody even sees Arjuna at that point of time until he gets onto the chariot. So Arjuna recalls this how we were saved, enemy neglected us because of Lord's mercy. So Arjuna recalled all those things, and then and in order to console himself, by remembering, Arjuna then remembers his intimate moments with Krishna, how Krishna has tolerated his joking words, he even tolerated the scoldings, and uh, and Arjuna Arjuna says, I am the same Arjuna with Gandiva and bow, and I am and the same bow, same arrow, same chariot, and same horses. uh, but all of those who have become null in the moment of Krishna's absence, like like he says, oh, I am the same person. I have the same Gandiva bow. I have the same chariot. I have the same bows, but I'm not able to defeat even the infidel cohort boys now because of the absence of Lord Krishna. So now he again says that these Yadus were cursed by Brahmanas to become intoxicated and fought with the sticks to kill each other. Now all but 4 or 5 of them are dead and gone. Okay, only 4 or 5 Yadus are remaining, and all of the Yadus who are our intimate relatives, they all have passed away. He says that. So, in order to, while recalling all the situations, Arjuna was becoming so emotional and so disturbed. So, Arjuna recalls the instruction that Krishna gives in Battle of Kurukshetra. Means Arjuna remembers the message of Bhagavad Gita. So, all this is due to the supreme will of the Lord. He says this and people are sometimes killed and sometimes protected one another only by the will of the Lord. So as the big aquatics swallow the small aquatics, Lord engages the stronger Yadus to kill weaker. Okay, so this was because the Yadus had become a burden on the earth. Okay, Bhubara. So in this way, by saying all these words, Arjuna is consoling himself and saying how uh, like it is only by the will of the Lord anybody is protected or anybody is killed. It is because of the will of the Lord I was protected in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Now it is will of the Lord, all the Yadus who are considered as burden to the earth were killed. So and Arjuna Arjuna contemplated deeply on Lord Krishna's feet and his instructions with great intimacy and friendship, and thus his mind became pacified and free from any unsteadiness. Okay, Arjuna Arjuna's remembrance of Vasudeva's lotus feet intensified his bhakti, and thus the contaminations in his thought has subsided. He forgot. Uh, he remembered Krishna's instructions on the battlefield. Okay, and which he forgot neither through the time nor actions or nor darkness of separation. Due to his spiritual assets, Arjuna destroyed all his lamentations and vanquished all the doubts. He became free from the modes of modes and situated in transcendence, devoid of material form. Okay, alinga, alingatva, and was no longer entangled in the birth and death. Okay, so here no, this is the importance of having this spiritual vision. Okay, this having the spiritual background, having this knowledge of scriptures or message of Bhagavad Gita, it will saves us. It will be by this knowledge we will be able to tolerate any situations, any reversals in our life, and grow through the situations. Okay, and upon hearing all these things, Maharaj Yudhishthir, yeah, he decided to renounce entire kingdom. Okay, so hearing Arjuna, Kunti become absorbed in Krishna with full attention and thus gained release from material existence. Krishna caused Yadus to relinquish their bodies and relieve the burden of the world, like one picks out a throne with another throne. So now with the Arjuna has delivered the complete news, and then he finally he stated what is Lord's will, and also he himself realizes the message of Bhagavad Gita and becomes situated uh, in peace. Mm. So in transcendence. Now upon hearing this news, how Maharaj Yudhishthir and Queen Kunti, they became also indifferent to this worldly existence. So immediately Yudhishthira Maharaj decided that now it is a time, because Narada Muni also said, Narada Muni gave us time that we can stay here until as long as Krishna is there on this planet. Now because Krishna is already gone and we don't have any business here. This is very different from today's politicians. Even the today's politicians, even if they are 90 years, 8 years old, still they want to be attached to their kingly position or any post that they are having. Even in the families also, they don't give the chance to the new generation. They just wanted to hold on to the authority. Okay, and then uh, stay in this material world or stays in their family background. Hmm. That's why Prabhupada stresses the importance of renunciation. Prabhupada says anybody who turned above 50, you should not be living in the home. Means you should completely withdraw from active material life, and then you should completely engage in the spiritual practices. So maybe practically, to the application point of view, we may not be able to go to the forest, but we should actually reduce our material association, and we should focus on spiritual perfection, either studying or preaching, like that. So it is stated that the Lord Krishna has left the earth, Kali entered and fully manifested the inauspicious conditions for those with poor intelligence. Yudhishthira Maharaj understood the influence of Kali, characterized by the increasing avarice, falsehood, cheating, and violence everywhere. So he wisely prepared himself to leave home and dressed accordingly. Hmm. He enthroned his grandson Parikshit, who was trained and qualified as himself, and he posted Vraja, the grandson of Krishna, at Mathura. Then he performed a Prajapatya sacrifice, placing the fire for for quitting the household life in himself. Okay, so now Maharaj Yudhishthir and coronates Maharaj Parikshit, and then he relinquished his royal garments and ornaments, and he becomes fully unattached, and he amalgamated. No, now in these verses from 41 and 42, nicely says how Yudhishthir Maharaj has reversed the process of creation. Okay, so in the process of creation, how uh, if you see from Brahman, Jivas come, from Prakriti, Gunas come, and from the five elements, body will develop. So Yudhishthira Maharaj will reverse that process of creation. Okay, so it is said that he amalgamated his existence, offering the senses. Okay, so before this thing, what happened is Yudhishthira Maharaj coordinates Maharaj Parikshit and sees through that everything is properly done, and then he actually doesn't even ask or informs any of his relatives. No, he actually discards his kingly garments, and he discards his ornaments and everything, and puts up a very simple cloth, and then he actually, without telling anybody, he started walking out of the family. Started walking out of the kingdom towards north, means towards the Himalayas. So, and when Yudhishthira Maharaj was, when somebody asked Yudhishthira Maharaj, Maharaj, where are you going? He didn't care to respond them. He just walked off. So when Yudhishthira Maharaj was going like that, Bhima, Arjuna, Nakula, Sahadev, and even Draupadi and everybody understood that Maharaj is going away from his active family life. So it is said that we have to come around and we have to go alone. But if we care for our family, that we will be thinking, if we think that we are the protectors of our family, or if you think that, oh, without me, how can my family survive? If you think like that, then it will be the cause of our taking rebirth in the family or in the material world. So that's why a renunciation should come like a flood. Means it should, like, there are some I know some of the persons who are planning to take sannyas for 30-40 years. He means they will be, if you think that you want to take sannyas after 2-3 years, means you will never be able to become a sannyasi, because, or if you will never be able to renounce anything. If you want to renounce, you should just renounce then and there, and irrespective of what will happen next, you should completely dependent on the Lord for your maintenance and for their protection. For our maintenance means for our body and soul being together, we need to have some food and we need to have some water, and we should completely depend on the Lord. That is, and for the protection of other family members whom we are living, we have to have full uh, strong faith on the protection of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In the previous verse also, it is said that, right? Narada Muni says, even though this person is he himself in the mouth of death, he is trying to protect others. When Yudhishthira Maharaj was thinking about his uncle Dhritarashtra and his aunt Gandhari, Narada Muni says, in this world, everybody is under the clutches of death, and he tries to protect others. You yourself doesn't have any protection. How can you protect others? So you just think about yourself. Means, like, our only relationship is with Krishna. That is our ultimate relationship. And then when the at that point, when the point of renunciation, when that point of where we have to go, take up renunciation or dedicate our life completely to the Krishna consciousness, we have to just do it away without caring for anything. When we think that all our responsibilities are over and we are ready for renunciation. So otherwise, if you think, okay, after this thing I will do, after my family settles I will do, or something, my son's marriage, my daughter's marriage, or my granddaughter's birth, or my grandchildren get married, like that. I'll see my granddaughters. So you'll never be able to renounce the family life, and you will be brought to this material world again and again. And unfortunate situation is, there are some people, even after reaching to the age of 70 or 80, they will engage in some businesses outside. No? They put they put their money in the shares, and they keep worrying about the increasing or decreasing of stock market. So this is total unfortunate situation. We should never be doing that. We should know what is the value of human form of life, and we should we should plan our activities accordingly. No, we should understand that we are not the protectors of our family or our children. Ultimate protector is Krishna himself. So we should have that dependence on Krishna. So in the same way, now here Yudhishthira Maharaj, now he has done all his responsibilities. He has enthroned Parikshit Maharaj, and after that, and he didn't even discuss with like he generally he used to discuss with Bhima or Arjuna, right? He didn't even say a word to them, and he just started walking towards the north. So seeing him and understanding his mood, and Bhima and Arjuna, all the Pandavas, they also did the same thing, because Parikshit Maharaj is already enthroned, and we don't have anything to do here, and all the Pandavas also started renouncing and walking towards the north, and then Draupadi also followed their husbands. And it is said that while everybody is walking towards the north, nobody is looking at others also. Oh, are you feeling well? Are you comfortable? No, nothing like that. They are only focused on them and their spiritual enlightenment. Means they are going towards this. They are actually exhibiting their ultimate renunciation of this material world. So, and they started walking, and one by one, first Draupadi fell down, next Nakul Sahadeva fell down, next Arjuna fell down, next Bhima fell down, and then Yudhishthira Maharaj finally reached the Himalayas, and there he performed this amalgamation, means how he reversed the process of technique and merged himself into went back to Godhead. So it is said that he amalgamated his existence, offering the senses into the mind into life, and life into breathing, and he offered apana and exertion into death, and death to the body of five elements, and five elements to three gunas, and three gunas to Prakriti, and Prakriti to Jiva, and Jiva to Brahman. So this is the reverse process of creation. So Yudhishthira Maharaj has reversed the process of creation, and he went back to Godhead. Just like for suppose there is some work, okay. So you take different tools from different persons, okay. For suppose you want to decorate something, so you go and bring a scissors from somebody's home, and you want to you borrow the what you call objects of decoration from somebody, you bring flowers from somebody, and not maybe decoration, maybe you want to perform some kirtan or something like that. So you take different instruments from different sources. After your work is done, you will return everything back to their original owners, right? In the same way, Yudhishthira Maharaj gave back everything to their owners. So where it has come from, like he gave the body of five elements to three gunas. In the process of creation, this body of these three gunas were the cause of body of five elements. So he reversed it, okay, and three gunas to Prakriti. So these three gunas are coming from the Prakriti. So he gave these three gunas to the Prakriti, and then Jiva and Prakriti is given to Jiva, okay, and then Jiva to Brahma. Like that, he reversed the process of creation. He wore torn clothes, stopped eating and speaking, and became like a deaf and madman. Not waiting for his brothers, he started towards the north in footsteps of great souls to devote himself completely to the Supreme Lord. Sorry, I was not focusing on the slideshow. So this is the Yudhishthira Maharaj's renunciation. And then following Yudhishthira Maharaj, other Pandavas also left, and Vidura, here it is said that seeing Kali Yuga, other Pandavas also decided to follow their elder brother. They executed all the principles of religion uh, as a result to choose meditate upon the Lord's feet without interruption. Thus, by the pure consciousness, due to constant devotional remembrance, they attain the spiritual sky, the abode of Lord Krishna, the Golak Vrindavan, with their pure bodies, devoid of their demigod portions like Yamaraj and Yamaraj, Nidishit, etc. So Vidura left his body at Prabhasa and returned to his original post in Pitruloka. And Draupadi and Subhadra became absorbed in thoughts of Lord Krishna and attained the same result as their husbands. So all the Pandavas, they actually went back to Godhead. That's what Prabhupada is saying. They went back to Godhead by fixing their attention on the Supreme Lord, and then and the Draupadi and Subhadra also absorbed themselves on the thought of Krishna and attained the same position as their husband. Means they also went back to Godhead. And finally, the Falashruti is said that this subject of departure of the sons of Pandus is fully auspicious and perfectly pure. Anyone who hears it with faith gains devotion to Lord. Okay. So now the Suta Goswami is saying to Naimisharana sages how the Pandavas have renounced their worldly possessions or this world, and then they actually fixed their focus on the lotus feet of Krishna and then attained the perfection of human form of life. So anybody with faith hears these pastimes, they will develop devotion to Lord Krishna, which is the essence of human form of life. So that is the discussion for today. If you have any questions or comment, you can take here. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
Actually, before one sloka, actually, Yudhishthira Maharaj went to Brahman. Yeah, in text 42. So, did he went to Brahman, Prabhuji, or the go back to Godhead, like Golak
No.
Vrindavan?
Only Yudhishthira Maharaj was did this Ashtanga style. Means, see, Mataji, like you, if you want to go to from here to New York, you can go
Okay.
either by flight or either by car, either by other different routes you can take. Like you can go little down and come up like that, right? So in the same way, there are different ways a devotee can go back to Godhead. So Yudhishthira Maharaj went in the way like Ashtanga yogis did, means reversing the process of creation and then going back to Godhead. After Brahman, he will, like it is said that all the Pandavas went back to Godhead, right? Now,
Yes,
especially if you see
Prabhuji.
the shloka number 47, 48, it says they attain the spiritual sky, the abode of Lord Krishna, Golak Vrindavan, with their pure bodies, okay, divide of their demigod portions, okay, like
Okay.
somebody says, right, Yudhishthira Maharaj is the incarnation of Lord Yamaraj, is the expansion of Lord Yamaraj. So divide. So he didn't go to Yamalok or something like that. He went back to Godhead. So like it is a different way of some Ashtanga yogis also, they can go to heavenly planets, from heavenly planets to Pitruloka, from Pitruloka to Brahma Loka, from Brahma Loka to into Brahman, and then Brahman into the spiritual sky. Means the Golok Vrindavan. They can go because when they are pure in consciousness, some yogis, Krishna will facilitate the yogis to go through this path also. But when as long as they are devotees, Krishna will be always there for their protection. Because in the case of Ashtanga yogis who are not devotees, they can go, maximum they can go is they can merge into a Brahman, and they cannot go further beyond that. When the Ashtanga yogi merges into Brahman, if we still again have this personal consciousness, means uh, pers- uh, if he focuses on any of the personal things, like oh, I am like this, he will immediately fall into this material existence. A person in the Brahman should lose his existence completely. That's why Ashtanga yogis are very indifferent to the bodily necessities or they are very renounced. They are very, very strict with the principles of renunciation. But in the case of devotees, Krishna will personally take care of them.
Okay.
So just like, for a grown-up child, like if five children are there, five children of five ages, first child is like 10 years old, and rest of the children are like 3 years old, and small child is there. It is only few months old. If if they were go, they have to go from temple to home. Hmm? So a child who is 10 years old, he can walk.
Mm-hmm.
But the parents have to take care of all the children, especially the child who is only few months old. A mother has to personally carry from point A to point B, not even giving slightest of uh, so that the child has to do any of endeavor. But a child who is grown up, they will walk by themselves. So here in this case, Yudhishthira Maharaj is comparatively much elevated compared to other Pandavas, much exalted, and he knows the science of yoga also perfectly. So he went through that process, and whereas in
Okay.
other Pandavas case, they actually, by the mercy of the Lord, they everybody, especially even Draupadi and Subhadra also, they went back to Godhead by the mercy of Krishna. But if Yudhishthira Maharaj comes this way, that's Krishna also welcomes that. Okay, you come to that, until that point, you do whatever we have to do our duty, and rest uh, Krishna will
Help
take care.
us. Like,
Yes,
yeah.
Krishna will take care means, but this endeavor should be there. No, uh, if you see the case of Pandavas, they did their thing. Means they actually renounced this material world and they went back. They fully dependent on Krishna, and then they started walking towards north to focus on Krishna.
Mm-hmm.
So that is their step, and Krishna reciprocated them by receiving them from wherever they are situated.
Yeah. Okay, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. And one more question, Prabhuji. In
Yes.
the sixth, yeah, text number 6, you told like two different things like Shavam and Sivam.
Mm,
One without living being is Shavam
mm.
in the material body. What about the Shivam, Prabhuji?
Shiva means the literal meaning of Shiva means auspiciousness. Means something is
Okay.
auspicious is called Shivam. That's why
Mm-hmm.
Lord Shiva is called all auspicious. That's why it's called, his name is Shiva. So
Okay.
as long as this living entity is present in this body, this body is Shiva, means is as good as the Lord Himself. That's why if you touch anybody's body with a leg, we'll immediately, touch with our hand and touch to head. Means we are begging forgiveness, and also we actually take good care to respect others' body, or bodily
Mm-hmm.
things like that. But when the living entity is gone, then immediately we discard that body,
Mm-hmm.
and we want to get rid of that body, even if he's a loved one of us.
Yes,
So,
Prabhuji.
so that's the difference. So, as long as the living entity is present in this body, we give great respect and we take good care of that body. But as soon as that
Mm-hmm.
living entity, that the jiva is gone out of this body becomes very inauspicious. Now, if you
Okay.
touch that body, we have to take bath. Now,
Mm-hmm.
that's why if you go to any crematorium, it is advised that you first take bath before entering into, home or into the any do anything else, right?
Yes,
Because
Prabhuji.
it is considered very inauspicious.
Okay. What is the Prajapatya Yajna, Prabhu? You mentioned in one
Maybe
of the.
Prajapati Yajna, I have to go through we have to go through the purports, Mataji. Maybe
Okay.
Prabhuji, if Prabhupada might not have given, then it is said that here Prajapati Yajna means something done for Arjuna focus on Lord instructions,
Is
something
that
that
like renunciation something?
like that. I that also makes the sense. But Prajapati Yajna enthroned he enthroned his grandson Parikshit, who was trained in and qualified himself. And Maharaj Yudhishthir, What is the verse number, Mataji?
I forget, Prabhu. I'm just looking.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It says Maharaj Yudhishthira has.
I think 39, Prabhu.
He posted Vraja, grandson of Krishna. Then he performed Prajapati Yajna sacrifice, placing the fire for quitting the household life. Maybe it is a sacrifice that is meant for quitting the household life.
Oh, okay, okay.
So, like, no, he did it as ceremoniously. Okay. After that sacrifice, he actually, didn't care for anybody. He wore torn clothes, and he stopped eating and speaking, and he became like a deaf and madman. And not waiting for his brothers also, he started walking towards the north in the footsteps of great souls. I'm
Okay.
not very
Thank you,
sure
Prabhu.
about Prajapati Yajna, Mataji.
Mm-hmm.
Any more questions or comments? Okay, we'll end it here. Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai.